It was late afternoon in a small village on the edge of Burkina Faso, the air thick with dust, the sun hanging low over the horizon. The land was dry, cracked from weeks without rain. People moved slowly, tired from the heat, each carrying the weight of survival on their shoulders. On that road, walking barefoot with trembling steps, was a little girl no older than 8. Her clothes were torn, her face streaked with tears and dust. But what caught the eye most was the small boy strapped tightly to her back, his head resting limply against her shoulder. His breathing was shallow, his tiny hands weakly gripping her dress. The girl's name was Awa. Her brother, barely 5 years old, had been sick for days. Their mother, too weak and without money, had told Awa, "If you love your brother, take him to the hospital. Don't stop until you find someone who can help." And so she walked, alone, determined, scared. That was when Ibrahim Traoré, the young officer known for his fierce discipline and deep love for his people, appeared on the same road. He was returning from a patrol, his red beret tilted slightly, his boots heavy against the ground. To him, the sight of a child struggling under such a burden was something that pierced deeper than any weapon ever could. He stopped, watching silently for a moment. The girl's legs shook, yet she kept moving. Every step seemed to demand more strength than she had, yet she refused to stop. Soldiers marching to war often looked like that, broken, exhausted, but unwilling to surrender. "I have to know her story," Ibrahim thought. He stepped closer, his shadow falling over her. "Little one," he said gently, "where are you going?" Awa froze. To her, uniforms were not a symbol of safety. She had seen men in uniforms take fathers away, shout at mothers, and sometimes bring nothing but fear. Her first instinct was to run, but she couldn't. Her brother was too heavy, his condition too fragile. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "To the hospital. My brother is sick. Mama said if I don't, he will die." The words struck Ibrahim with the force of a bullet. He knelt so that his eyes met hers, his voice now softer. "How far have you walked?" "Since morning," she answered, her eyes filling again with tears. "But the hospital is still far." Ibrahim looked at the boy. His chest rose and fell unevenly, his eyes half closed, his skin burning with fever. Without immediate care, the child's life was hanging by a thread. At that moment, Ibrahim faced a choice. He was a commander, expected to be strong, expected to follow duty and orders. But what is duty, he asked himself, if it cannot protect the weakest among us? He stood, removed the boy gently from Awa's back, and carried him in his own arms. "You don't have to walk alone anymore," he told her. For the first time, Awa looked up at him, not as a soldier, but as a savior. Together, they hurried toward his vehicle. The drive to the hospital was tense. Awa sat silently, clutching her small hands together, whispering prayers under her breath. Ibrahim kept glancing at the boy in the rearview mirror, watching his shallow breaths. Every second felt heavy. Finally, they reached the hospital. Nurses rushed forward, immediately taking the boy into the emergency ward. Awa tried to follow, but the staff stopped her. She turned to Ibrahim, panic in her eyes. "Please, don't! Let them take him away from me." Ibrahim knelt and held her shoulders. "They are trying to save him. Trust me." Hours passed. The hospital's corridors echoed with cries, footsteps, and the low hum of machines. Awa sat on a bench, clutching Ibrahim's hand, refusing to let go. She had lost too much already. In her short life, her father to violence, her mother to poverty. She couldn't lose her brother, too. Then finally, a doctor emerged. His face was serious but calm. "He will live," he said. "It was a high fever, dangerously close to taking him. But we managed to bring it down. He needs rest, medicine, and good food. Awa collapsed into tears, hugging Ibrahim's arm. She had carried her brother as far as her tiny body allowed. But it was this stranger, this soldier, that had carried them both the rest of the way. What Ibrahim did next, however, shocked everyone. He didn't just pay for the boys' treatment. He didn't just ensure they had food and medicine. He went further. He took Awa and her brother back to their village, spoke with the elders, and made a promise. As long as I am alive, no child here will ever have to walk alone for help. And, true to his word, he ordered new medical posts to be set up in villages like Awa's. He arranged transport for the sick and weak. He used his position not for power, but to bring dignity to those who had been forgotten. Months later, Awa and her brother were seen again, this time laughing, playing, their faces no longer marked by fear. For Ibrahim, that moment on the dusty road had changed everything. He realized that leadership is not about commands or medals. It is about seeing the tears of a child and saying, "I will not look away." And for Awa, she would always remember the day a soldier in a red beret became the answer to her desperate prayers. That's the full story, long form start to finish. It has suspense, the walk, the sickness, the hospital scene. It has emotional tension, fear of soldiers, desperation, life and death struggle. It has a shocking but heartwarming twist, Ibrahim taking action beyond expectations. It ends with hope and meaning, large a lesson on leadership and humanity.